Hello everyone, my name is Michaela, Cinematic Stitches here on YouTube, and welcome to my channel all about cross-stitch and quilting. I have something exciting to show you for you quilt lovers, but we'll leave that for the end. Anyway, I hope everyone has been very well. Somehow it is almost the end of August. I'm filming this Friday. Is it the 23rd today? I think it's the 23rd. Shocking. And it is miserable out. Vancouver decided to have an early fall. It's very rainy. It's gross. I think the rest of like next week is going to be pretty sunny, but it's going to be a very rainy weekend here. A little taste of October in August. But I hope everyone's August has been going well. Mine has been exceptionally busy. Had a lot going on at work, tons of social stuff. So it's been really fun, but it's been quite hectic. And I've got a fair amount of crafting done as well that I'm excited to show you all. So let's get on into it, shall we? First up, I've got one new start. It is very small, but it's cute. It is the word as. There's going to be more to this. This is a little pattern that I made for a coworker of mine. It's their birthday coming up, and they wanted me to stitch them something that said close your Jiras. Jira is a task tracking software. They're a producer, so, you know, I guess it's fitting for them. But I drafted the letters based on one of the alphabets found in this book, which is an excellent resource, by the way. It's by Brenda Keyes, the Ultimate Sampler Motif source book. So I found cute little alphabet in here and some flowers. And I'm just gonna stitch up a little phrase, give it to him for his birthday. So that'll be nice. That's just on a 16 count white Aida. I'm pretty sure I got it from Michael's. So nothing special there, but it'll be cute. I literally worked on this for I think I put a strand into it like a couple nights ago because I just wanted to get it started. I'll probably work on it a little more tomorrow. I'll get it to him by his birthday. Surely. Surely. It's next week. We'll see. But that's my one start. Just a little gift. All right. I've got some whips. I've got some cool whips. Okay. Cool whip. So I have been stitching one strand a day on Jan Hicks Creates pattern, Arabesque. That is this pattern here. This was released at Nashville. Was it Nashville Needlework Market? I think so. I think that's the name of it. That was in spring this year. I saw this pattern, absolutely fell in love with it. In my last video, I had started it. I think I'd stitched on it for a couple days, and where we last left off was around here. And I just want to show you my progress. I'm pretty impressed with how much I can get done with just one strand a day. So you saw where I was before. Well, look at me now. That's pretty good, right? That's like literally, I'm strict about it. It's exactly one strand a day, and my strands are like, I pull from basically like the end of my hand to around my elbow. I don't like super, super long threads. I find they get tangled too much. So that's like a good length for me. But that's where we are right now. It is stunning. I just finished this little bird motif here and started this, which will be the M. Oh, I'm loving it. It's so gorgeous. Smile. Yes, we do love it. So I'm stitching this on a 20 count Aida, antique white, right? Yep, antique white. The Aida is a blessing. 20 count Aida is like such a wonder to stitch on. It doesn't hurt my eyes. I can get a cute little tiny stitch. I don't mind the look of the holes on Aida. I think that bothers some people, like, you know, when this is done. Yes, if you get close up, you'll see the holes, but I don't actually care. Look at that. It's so pretty. The thread I'm using is Cupid by Classic Colorworks. Where is the bag? I'll just show you close-up of the thread. It has an absolutely stunning variegation going through it. You can see it's like kind of a bloody red too. Darker, yeah, light and dark red all throughout. Cupid, great color, great red, beautiful red for a red sampler. I'm loving it, just loving it. And it's been very nice to stitch, like just get a strand a day in a project. I've never done this before and I've been really good about it. Like I wanted to challenge myself to make sure that I wanted to challenge myself to see if I could actually accomplish one strand a day. And I have, and I think I'm gonna be able to keep that up until the end of August. I'm only gonna do this for August. I will say that sometimes I only have a strand of day in me, you know what I mean? Stitching wise, and having that be on just one project and not something that is going towards like a different greater goal can sometimes be a bit frustrating for me. So I don't think like a strand a day type project is something that I would do every month, but I do think I'd want to do it some months of the year because like, look at that progress. That's amazing. I'm just like, I'm impressed. I love it. I don't know where I'll get by the end of next week, but it'll be somewhere, somewhere further than this. But anyway, absolutely love this. There's like obviously still a fair amount of pattern left to get through, but I feel like I'm doing very well. Okay, what else do we have? Yes, next up is my Pride Weekend piece. This project did not get nearly as many stitches in it as I wanted to this year. I was just super busy in June. Pride Weekend, I just was obsessed with Arabesque and worked on that. The project I'm speaking of course, is Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. That is this pattern here. Last time you saw it, it looked like this, and now it looks like this. So like a tiny bit more progress, not a ton. I worked with the greens, that felt good. It's so pretty, it's coming along. I have a feeling that I'm gonna be putting this on my whip go board next year because like, yes, I want to work on it in June and for Vancouver's Pride Weekend, which is beginning of August, but like that's just like, it doesn't feel like it's enough time for me, and if I don't prioritize it just sort of like falls off, you know? But I'm happy I got something done. This is being stitched on a 25 count even weave. The color is Blushing Pink, and it's from the Sewing Shop. Absolutely lovely. I'm stitching it with Roxy Floss Co. threads. They have like a rainbow color pack. Sorry, I am leaving my window open because despite it being rainy, it's pretty muggy, and you know, I live right off Main Street in Vancouver. There's like a lot of sirens here. Just gonna let them drive on by. But anyway, I'm happy I got something done. That's all I'm trying to say. And this is a really beautiful project. The threads are absolutely lovely. I've mentioned it, I think, every time I've picked this up, but I think I'm actually going to change two of the threads looking at it now. So the light pink and the light blue. Light pink, you can't, like, can you even see that? There's light pink there. And the light blue is so close to the white. Like when you hold the thread up, it looks like light blue, but when you put it down, especially when it's near a white, it basically looks the same. So I think I'm going to, those are like, that's the only area I have these two colors. I think I'm probably just going to tear that out, which will be fun because this is over 1. 25 count over 1. That's why it's so tiny. Anyway, I'm going to tear that out and replace it with some like punchier colors, you know? But that is a problem for next year. Okay, moving along. What do I got? Okay, I'm back. I kicked my camera. Lord knows why. I kicked it. I don't know if we're in the same space. Let's just say we are. Anyway, my next whip I was going to show you is the Stitch for Pride Stitch Along. This is put on by D's 20 Stitches. You get a different piece every month, and this month's piece is by, no, it's not by, they're all by D, but it is an homage to the artist Hangama Amiri. It's a pattern that looks like this. She is an Afghani Canadian textile artist that I am learning about now. Every month you get the pattern and also like a set of learnings about that artist and their work, which is amazing. The Stitch for Pride stitch along is absolutely incredible. So much work goes into it, like really blows my mind. And I'm loving it. And I've actually been keeping up with it. I'm just gonna show you this whole thing and then I'll close in on the piece I'm working on now, but look at that. That's everything. So last time I had finished this down here, and now I'm working up here. So I'm not done this yet. I still have, there's like a big heart that goes here. It's absolutely stunning. I love this piece so much. My goal is to like fully keep up with it and have it done by the end of the year. I'm stitching this on a 32 count linen from Mystic Fabrics called Arabesque. And the thread I'm using this month is from Brennan Needle. Now, is it Brennan Needle or Brennan Nettle? What does this little line over the E mean? I don't know. Say it's Brennan Needle. And the color is The Fall of the House of Dickieburg. I thought it was just stunning. And was like, well, not super close, but like, you know, close enough to what the actual thread is supposed to be. So anyway, that's where I am with Stitch for Pride. I will definitely be finishing this by the end of the month. I don't have too many more stitches left to go. Next up, I worked on my Whip Go Call. So I've already finished my 2 Whip Go Calls for the month, and this is the first one. So I worked on We're Made for Each Other by the Witchy Stitcher. That's this one here. Absolutely stunning pattern. Here's where I was at last time. And, oh, I should really, hang on, let me pull the Q-snap off so you can properly see what I've done. Here we go, that's good. And here I am now. So cool. Okay, so I did this green outline here. I finished filling in her face. I think I maybe have like 2 little spots by her lip that I need to add in. I pulled her hair up a little more as well. I finished these letters and I started on Frankenstein Monster's face. Absolutely incredible. It is a goal to finish this year. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. I believe in myself. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. I'm gonna finish it this year. It's stitched on a 14 count Huntress by Picture This Plus. And yeah, it's just with all the called for DMC. And it is stunning, darling, stunning. I love this piece so much. This has been like a cover photo on so many of my videos, but like, whatever. It looks great. I love it. And purple's my favorite color, okay? Okay, I'm gonna dye my hair purple next week. It's gonna be awesome. I haven't had it purple in like years, and I didn't like the shade of purple I had the last time I did purple, so we're just gonna see if this looks any better, and if it doesn't, maybe purple's just not meant to be up here. Maybe it's meant to be other places. Just not in my hair, but we'll see. Okay, what's next? My second Whip Go Call, which I also finished. Oh, so this, it was called for 5 days. I worked on it for 5 days. The next piece, also called for 5 days. I worked on it for 5 days. And that project was, of course, The Dark Queen of the Earth by Autumn Lane Stitchery. That is this pattern here. It was stitch along. I did not keep up with it. It is huge. It is so huge. And I remember people complaining about this area that I'm working in now, about like how long it took to stitch. I think this area may have broken some people. If I remember correctly, there was like a lot of drop-offs around this time in the area I'm working now. I'm loving it, but it is big. Like, I worked hard on this for 5 days, like for me, like several hours a night, and I still didn't finish this section. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So last time I was here, I've kind of released her from the Q-snap so you can see the whole thing. Oh, am I gonna be able to hold this properly? Oh, okay, this might be really awkward. Okay, here's what I have right now. As you can see, it is huge. And I still have the upper half of her body to do, which is crazy. It's not as bad, the stitching up there, but it's still a lot. So where I was focused was over here. All of this stuff here. Woof. That's a lot of stitching in there. It is a lot of stitching. Oh, I also finished the bottom part of her dress. I was like missing a color and I finally bought it and finished that. But anyway, did like all this trunk, like the thorns, carried it up here. So this part still isn't even done. I think this was the third release. 2, 3, yeah, either part 3 or part 4, whatever. This side over here. This was technically like this came after this, but just how I had my Q-snap, I finished this stuff first. I'm moving over here. My goal is, I had initially been like, I'll finish her this year. That's not happening. She's too big. She's too big. I can't finish her this year. Like, seriously, look at this. It's massive. But, okay, so adjusted goal. I'll finish her next year, but by this year, I want to at least finish this section here. So that means, like, there's, like, this big stick that goes up here, and there's, like, a flower and a mushroom and stuff. So we're going to add that in probably in November. I'm going to use November as, like, a goal catch-up month. But, yeah, she big. This is on a 32 count gilded oak by Under the Sea Fabrics. It was one of the two possible, well, one of the two called for fabric colors. The other one was like nightshade or something like that. I don't know. It was like a green. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I love the gilded oak. It's a gorgeous project. It's taking me forever though, but she's gonna be awesome when she's done, and I'm very excited to show you when she's done. Yeah, I'll be excited to frame her and all that. I say that as if I'm gonna frame her immediately. I have like projects sitting around for ages that I have not framed, so hopefully it'll be different for her. Anyway, let's just move along, shall we? Dark Queen of the Earth, she's stunning, she's gorgeous, she's done. She's done for August. What do I have? I think I have one more whip. One more whip. So, I looked at my whip go board, and I was like, I need to take the wheel. I need to exert some control over my whip go calls. And I decided to start working on a call early. And the reason for that is because I put down, I hate to say loathed, but I kind of loathe working on it. I want the finished product, but I don't enjoy working on it. I put down cabin fever 4 times on WhipGo for 5 days each call. It has only been called once this year. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't be working on cabin fever like in December or October, because December's all about Christmas and October's all about Halloween, and I just like want to keep it that way. So I'm like, okay, we're exerting some control. So I have like found the first cabin fever in the list that hasn't been called on my WhipGo board and just called it for this month as well. So here is my 3rd unofficial WhipGo call of the month. Cabin fever. It is a Dimensions Gold kit. It is stunning. I honestly love it. It's beautiful. I want to go to this cabin. I want to watch these deer. I want to be in those flowers. It's beautiful. But actually working on it is a real pain in the ass. I will say that. I've made it a lot better for myself. I am no longer following what Dimensions is asking me to do. which, as I will mention every time I work on this project, it wanted me to use 5 strands of thread on a stiff 18 count Aida. That's just not happening. I tried it initially and it was hell. It shredded, like it shredded the threads I pulled so quickly. It was so frustrating, and it's so thick. Like this is 5 strands right here, like literally thick. You can see it popping off the fabric. And I get the dimensions was like supposed to be dimensionality, but I'm saying screw it. I love how I'm like, I've like pushed my hair. This is me with the dimensions kit. It's not that bad. It's better. I'm just like exaggerating for fun, but it's not fun. It's not fun stitching with 5 strands of thread. So anytime something asks for 5 or 4 strands, we're just making it 3. We're making it 3. It's not gonna have the same amount of coverage, but I don't really care. It's gonna get done. So anyway, last time we last spoke? I don't know. Last time we spoke, I was here. And now, here we are. Obviously, you probably can't tell too much of a difference, but what did I work on? I filled in some stuff here. I filled in this whole, like, this was all blank previously, there with the deer, and then I put some green up here. So, like I said, I don't super love working on this project. It's my oldest whip. If I started this today, I would have picked a completely different fabric, you know, but this actually, you know, this 80 used to be so stiff. It's pretty soft now. Softened by my tears. No, I've never cried over this. I've never cried over a project. But it's a pain in the butt. Let's just say that. Anyway, yeah, you know, we would have made some different choices if we started now, but we haven't. We're continuing on, and I do want to finish this. I will say, I think part of the reason I don't like this area is because it's really confetti heavy. I don't like stitching confetti. It's not fun for me. The other side, at least from what I can tell in the pattern, the other side looks a lot more uniform. Like you have bigger blocks, and I think it's like you're literally okay, this place is gonna be hell, but you're literally building a house. This is all pretty much the same color. This whole area here, all the greenery and the reflection. So that's done. So now I only need to work on this 2 more times this year. And those times I've just decided, I'm forcing my whip go numbers. I'm gonna work on this in September, so I'm gonna pick it up again next month. And I'm also gonna work on it in November. And then we're done. Yeah, and speaking of done, we're done. Those are my whips. I don't have any cross stitch finishes, but I do have something else I'll show you after I'm done talking about cross stitch. That is a finish, and I'm very excited about it. Okay, what else can I show you? Let's just talk about plans, because I kind of was just there, and then I haven't really bought anything, but I did get my fabric from Mystic Fabrics, so I'll show you that. Okay, so for plans, it's just like whip go month. I'm working on another whip go call starting on Sunday, so I am 1 whip go call behind, and that was for 7 days on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, and I decided to throw that in August because like my theme for August, I go with Arbitrary August, so like just whatever I feel like. And I feel like working on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, and I had time to do it. So that's gonna be like 4 whip go calls this month was my focus outside of Arabesque. Right, so in summation, plans for the next couple weeks. I'm going to do 7 days on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I'm going to finish August's release for Stitch for Pride. I'm going to keep doing Strand of Day for Arabesque until the end of August. I'm going to finish my friend's gift. And then in September, like I said, I'm going to force my Cabin Fever whip go call. And I'm going to work on samplers September. I'm just going to work on samplers mostly. So yeah, those are my plans. Actually, I'm like, they're not too many. No, I do have quite a few plans, but you know, I don't think it doesn't feel like major stitching to me. Like I maybe have like 400 stitches left on the Stitch for Pride thing. The gift is really small, you know. And I love stitching on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. So I'm excited to get another 7 days on that. Yeah, that's it for plans. Let me show you what I got from Mystic Fabrics. It's still in a bag. 1 second. I'm just gonna rip it open. So these are the fabrics for July and August. And July is Milk and Honey. Really pretty. I do not have a yellow like this, so that's kind of cool. Super stunning. And August was a shade called Planetary. I love blue fabrics. Like, I think weirdly, like, blue is a neutral to me. Like, I think it's a pretty good neutral. And this one is like so pretty. So pretty. It's more blue than it's is it more blue than it's showing up? It's maybe not quite as, like, the modeling isn't quite as drastic as this is showing, but it's visible. Anyway, love both these fabrics. This is a great fabric of the month club. I love it. Do I have too much fabric? Maybe. I got a lot, but I like having options and it's so beautiful. So who cares? Certainly not I. Okay, what else is going on? Plans. I don't know if I've talked about it on this channel, but I'm going to Stitch North in 2 months, and I am so excited for that. I'm so excited to go to Stitch North. I'm going to meet up with a bunch of girls that I got to meet at StitchCon this year. Super excited for that. Yeah, it's just going to be a couple days in, where is it? Brampton, I think, which is like, I'm not super familiar with Ontario. I didn't realize Brampton is basically like touching Toronto. I've been to Toronto a couple times, and it's like Brampton is like beside the airport. Why can't I remember the name of it? Pearson. It's right beside Pearson Airport, so works for me. But I'm super looking forward to that. It's going to be really fun. That's towards the end of October, and yeah, I'm just stoked. So that's like a future plan, is to go to Stitch North in the fall. Okay, yeah. I think that's it cross stitch wise. I finished a quilt. Again, I don't think my sister watches this, but Julia, for some reason you're watching this. Please stop watching right now. I don't think she watches this. But I finished a quilt. Here it is. I am so pleased with myself. So this is the first quilt I have completed entirely by myself. So I've done one quilt before, and that was part of a class that I took at, if you live in Vancouver, it's called Spool of Thread. It's a really cute shop. It's not too far from me. And yeah, they have a whole bunch of classes. But anyway, I took their quilting introduction class last summer and have been meaning to make a quilt ever since. And oh, I did it. I did it. I quilted one. Okay, I'm gonna stand up so you can see. But I am like, okay, I'm gonna try not to kick my camera again. I am like super proud of this. No, it's okay, puppy. You stay there, baby. The dog is concerned. Okay, here it is. It's just like a baby quilt, so it's not huge. Here. Haha. Look at that. Look at it. I love it. I love the feature pattern. So cute. I wanted to go very Pacific Northwest with the color scheme. And here is the backing fabric. Again, I love it. It's like little acorns and leaves. Stunning. It's so soft. Yeah, I finished this last Sunday. So like my weekends have basically just been like quilting like crazy. it's been very busy. This took a long time, but you know what? I did it. I did do machine binding. I'm gonna go back to the camera now. So I did machine bind this because it's going to a baby and I don't know how often it's going to be washed. So you can see the stitching on the seam. It's not perfect. Like I kind of drifted off it a couple times, but you know what? Handmade, perfectly imperfect. Is that what we would say? Is that what you would say, Odie? Yeah. Anyway, I love it. So I technically do have like a little bit of work left. I still have my, what do you call these? Bobbin ends? Whatever. I need to weave these back in. And there is one area on the binding that I do kind of want to hand stitch down because I went a little far from the edge and I kind of don't like how I can like lift it. So yeah, like this area feels, I don't know. I just want it to sit down more securely. So that's what I'm going to do. But it's basically done. Like I'm literally so proud. So yeah, I'm gonna do that and then I just have to wash it and then it's good to go. It's good to go. I did it. And like I quilted most of this. When did I even start it? 3rd week of July? That's like a whole quilt in well, maybe not under a month, but a month. I'm impressed. That's a lot of work. So yeah, giving myself like a little pat on the back for that. So anyway, quilting section done. Okay. I think that's it. I feel like this was like maybe rapid fire, a little scattered. I feel a bit scattered, but it's the end of the week. So like, what are you going to do? If you like what you saw, you haven't been here before, why not subscribe to my channel? I release videos every 3 weeks and talk about all the crafty things I've been doing, mostly cross stitch, but as you see, sometimes quilts. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up with the little, what am I reading, watching, playing? But yeah, that's it for crafty stuff. So if you want to go, you're free. Okay, this part is gonna be real fast. I just feel like I have been so focused on work, socializing, and making a quilt that I haven't really done very much. So I've not really been reading at all. I've been watching 2 things, and they feel intimately related with the other. First off, America's Sweethearts, about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders on Netflix. I really enjoyed that series. It's a documentary, looks at like the cheerleaders who get into the Dallas Cowboys for like 1 season. So it follows like certain girls on their journey to get in. It is highly competitive to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. Girls are cut constantly. Dreams are crushed. It's good. It's good TV. I'll say that. And it interested me because I have absolutely no interest in sports. I have no interest in cheerleading. I never have. But watching something like that feels like I'm kind of like getting a view into another world. And it's just so interesting to see like the absolute like drive and dedication these women have to becoming this like one thing, and they might even have like they'll only be that thing for like maybe a season, or if you're lucky you get 5 total seasons. That's what it seems like. They after your 5th year as a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, they cut you're gone, which is crazy because it doesn't pay very much. It doesn't really lead to any other job opportunities, and it's absolutely torture on their bodies. Like the amount of orthopedic surgeries these women have throughout their careers as cheerleaders and when they're done is honestly shocking. It feels a bit like a weird cult, I'll say that, but it was fascinating. I really enjoyed watching it. It was great to quilt too. The flip side of that, another thing I've been watching was a lot of Alabama Rush TikTok. Another thing that feels very culty, and like I'm like just staring in at this alien world. If you don't know what that is, surely someone knows what Alabama Rush is, but I didn't know what it was until last year, and I became obsessed. So Alabama Rush, my understanding is that's like when Rush is when all the girls go to university. They're trying to get into a sorority there, like in the Greek system, and they're all vying for these houses, and every day they have to do like a different kind of thing. And like basically all the videos I'm watching are like their outfits of the day and like these really terrible dances that all the houses have made. But it is so weird and I strangely love it. So anyway, watching way too much Alabama Rush TikTok and reading about the Rush system and like Greek houses and things like that. Like, I don't think we have anything like that in Canada, but I might be wrong. And that's what I've been watching. So a lot of quality items, TikToks. But believe me when I say they are absolutely fascinating. At least I find them fascinating. Just like, what's in fashion? What are these stores these girls are talking about? Why is everybody dancing to music that was out when I was in high school? I think it's because it actually has a beat. I feel like modern music now doesn't really have the same type of like heavy dance grooves that were big in the early 2000s or the late 90s. Anyway, playing. I have not really been playing a lot of Elden Ring right now. I'm stuck on a boss and I haven't bought the DLC yet, but I'm going to this weekend, I think. But I did pick up a new game called Thank Goodness You're Here. It's by the same company that did Untitled Goose Game, which is one of my favorite games. It's so silly. Thank Goodness You're Here is ridiculous. I don't even really know how to describe it. You're like a little man, and you're trying to speak with the mayor, but he's making you wait, and you just kind of wander around this town, and there's like a bunch of weird things for you to do. Like some man has his arm stuck down a drain and you have to figure out how to like loosen him up. So like you go and raid the butter factory and things like that. Like it's extremely weird. It's very British. It's super cute. I've been enjoying it. Apparently Matt Berry's voice is in here somewhere and I just cannot wait to find him. I love Matt Berry. He's got one of the best voices, I think, today. Just period. As an actor, as anybody, as a human being, just a great voice. But you know what's actually been taking up a lot of my time is listening to the Magus Archives. I am like obsessed with this podcast. Tara from Will the Women Crafts told me about it. I talked about it last episode. I'm still listening to it. There's like 200 episodes and I'm episode like 80 something right now. Maybe 90 something. I'm like listening to it a lot. It was great when I was quilting. I could just like put on my headphones and listen to episode after episode of like creepy stories. I love it. If you like the Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock, kind of just like weird, creepy, paranormal stories, stories of old gods, things like that, check out the Magus Archives. It is amazing. I love it. Can't wait to listen to more. Anyway, I'm just gonna call it here. I hope you enjoyed this very like long, or not so long, rambly video. I feel like I rambled, but that's fine. We're gonna edit around it, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Until next time, happy stitching, everybody. Bye-bye.